Hello, my name's Keli Holiday, also known as Adam Hyde, also known as one half of Peking Duck, also known as your world savior. Maybe not. It's up to you to decide, but I'm happy to be sitting here talking with the beautiful people of Milky. Only Fashion is a fun little bop that I wrote with the legend Alisa Xayalith and Tyler Spry in Los Angeles, and I think the beat and the tune itself kind of replicates the environment that we were in. It's very sunny. It's very, nice spicy margarita or maybe an Aperol Spritz on a sunny afternoon in Los Angeles, and you should be wearing your Sunday best while you listen to it. And I think the lyrics Only Fashion kind of stemmed from we were wearing some fun outfits at the time, and it all kind of made sense to base it around that. And before we knew it, the song was there, and the whole experience was so fun. It was really filled with pleasure and like no nitpicking. We kind of just let it roll from the grip to the rip, and I think that really shows in the tune itself. It's a fun one, and it's been going off at every show along the tour. So stoked, and shout out to Alisa. I love ya. And shout out to anyone who's listening to it. And if you're not, you better get on that. Check it. Play it loud. Play it to your nan. Play it to the crowd. Feel it, man. It kind of started conceptually, like the feeling of the song itself was like a smoky room. Where it ended up, as I was saying, was kind of like a sunny afternoon. But it started as like a kind of smoky, dim lit room. And there's some kind of sexual entity that you're very attracted to, or sensual, better yet, let's say that. Something that like draws you in an animalistic way that you can't help but fight it. And me and Alisa were talking about, that being this woman or this thing that just is calling you like a siren, and you're drawn to it. And then we started talking about it like from that character's perspective. So it's like, it's only fashion, you can take it away. Cut your diamonds with a kiss on my face. She's letting me know. It's kind of like this person is letting you know, calling you in, like a swan song or like a siren in the night. But I think there's lots of great lyrics in it. I think got me like a love song, sweeter than a snow cone. What is it? Got me like a love song, sweeter than a snow cone. Running in a sandstorm. No, she's got me like a love song, sweeter than a snow cone, running in a sandstorm, I want to go. Wrap me up in nylon, fly me out to Saigon, a place without the lights on, I want to go. So it's like, I want to go everywhere with you, but more than anything, I want to go somewhere dark and intimate with you. And I think we all know what that means. That's right, I'm talking about kissing and hugging. Yeah, I like to come up with all the visual ideas for Keli Holiday in general, as I feel it's an extension of myself, and I get to talk about things that are only true to me, And with that, I reached out to a friend of mine, Asher Wales, and I was like, hey, I want to shoot a video. We had a few ideas banging about that were pretty wild, like doing a one-shot after a Dodgers game in LA, where it's just me and Alisa head bopping in a crazy crowd, and then we get, reactions from people as we just stare down the barrel and head bop. But that proved to be quite difficult. So then Asher was like, let's just go on the pier, you grip and rip, dance around, do your thing, be Keli Holiday. And Alisa was in, I was down to clown. And then we just let the camera roll. And then as we were doing it, we're like, wait, this is cool, but the people weren't really feeling it. Like the people around Santa Monica Pier at that time were very frigid, but that's fine. We're not going to force anyone to do anything they didn't want to do. So then we're like, all right, what do we do? And we had Taylor on the shoot. Shout out Taylor Bonin, fucking legend. And he was like, jump in the Ferris wheel right now. Let's just grip and rip on that. So we did. Jumped in the Ferris wheel, and it was going around, and it was terrifying. But the dudes operating were like, yeah, you can't stand up in it. I was like, okay, cool. But then we stood up, we danced, we sung. And I think that was the money shot of the visuals, was being in the Ferris wheel, overlooking the Pacific Ocean, singing this sweet, sweet song. I mean, overall, it kind of started out as me being just a mopey bastard sitting in my bedroom right around the corner from where we are right now in Waterloo. I've been through a rough breakup, had a shitty little acoustic guitar, and recorded these demos, then through a friend who actually lived around the corner from here again in Zetland at the time. I feel like I can see it from here. Golden Features, shout out to my boy, one of the best damn producers in the game. Played him some of the ideas and he's like, dude, you got to get this to Kim from the presets ASAP. And Kim was down to clown. We got in and we polished those terrible recordings, and that was the album there. And then I feel like Only Fashion is a nice bridge in between to the next offering for Keli Holiday, which is me really just doing whatever the fuck I want to do with some amazingly talented people like Dante Knows, Goldfang, Taras, who's a great producer, Paddy Cornwall, F-Boss, they have a great project. And also a lot of people in LA, Coyle Girelli from New York City, Nathaniel Mott in LA. There's a lot of people I could name, but it's more so just about me doing what I want to do musically. And I can't wait to share the next amount of stuff with you all. It's a mishmash of like, I like the approach of someone like The Alchemist, where it's kind of like just throw in samples and do weird shit that feels good to you and have fun with it. And I think like the world of indie, alternative rock, whatever you want to call it, meeting with stuff like The Alchemist, these samples that are flipped and turned around, I think that's been something I've been having a lot of fun exploring. So I can't wait to share with everyone this kind of mishmash of madness that is the new love child of Keli Holiday, sonically anyway. And I think Only Fashion's a nice bridge from that first offering to what's about to come, and I can't wait to share it. Yeah, there was a lot of fear and anxiety for sure about bringing Keli into the world, simply for the subject matter of a lot of the songs. Like, even if you listen to the record Keli, there's a lot of like deeply personal shit in there. There's even voicemails from certain people, which, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, who knows. But I'm talking about a lot of stuff that really fucked me up. And I think that alone is like this terrifying thing for anyone to ever talk about something. But as we all know, talking is the only way to help you get through it. It's cathartic to talk. It's cathartic to share. And I think there's a message in that for everyone. If you're feeling some shit, talk about it to anyone. Whether it's your mate, your mum, your dad, your friends, the bartender, your barista, whatever it might be. Always share, because it makes you feel better. And that's what the album did for me. So at first, jumping off the ledge was fucking terrifying. But once I was just soaring through the air with the wind in my hair, I didn't give a fuck. And I feel a lot better now for it. Man, I'd love everyone in the world to be a fan of Keli Holiday, but you can't force anyone into anything. I think it's all up to the listener. But if I did have to turn them on to Keli, it'd be We Don't Have to Know, I think, is a great introduction, because it encapsulates the energy of the project. And it encapsulates the energy of who I am, I think, in a great way. There's ad-libs all throughout it. If you listen closely, you can hear some pretty wild shit being said. That's dope. I think more people need to do that in general. Let's get more ad-libs going on rock and roll tracks. It's not only just for the hip-hop world. It can be anywhere. And I think the fluidity of that mishmashing, you can kind of feel it there, where it's like a throwback to a Velvet Underground-y riff with a big boom bap style beat that's crunched to the fucking gills, and then me singing a sweet song over the top. And I like that kind of just chaos of it all, yet somehow it works. And I think that's a great one. We Don't Have to Know would be one. Where You Feel would be another one. A very upbeat tune with some great visuals. I'd show that to them. It's me dancing down the beach in Venice Beach. You could throw to that right now. And another one would be December. I really like December because it's the first song that I created as Keli Holiday, as the heartbroken man that will never tell the world that he's heartbroken. It's kind of like the fragility of the male ego personified in a character, and especially in that song, and especially in the music video too. It's me dancing around Yosemite in tight short shorts, kind of experiencing a holiday I would have with my loved one that I'm singing about, but she's not there. So instead it's just me pretending everything's fine and dancing it all away. But yeah, I'd say those would be 3 for sure. AOTB, baby, always on tour. Yeah, I think Keli Holiday is really an extension of myself, just on a whole lot of acid, a whole lot of horsepower, just turbo energy of me. Like, kind of like you put me through a magnifying glass and then blew it all up with some nitrous oxide and had a good time with it. I feel like that character that is Keli Holiday still is me, but when I'm on stage, I really want to bring that all the way up to 11 in a way, you know what I mean? And I think a Keli Holiday show, the only way to describe it would be to experience it. I think, I want to be super inclusive, make sure everyone has a great time. It's always accessible for all, whether you're able-bodied, disabled, whether you're, short, tall, purple, green, black, blue, whatever you might be, you're welcome at a Keli Holiday show. And it's a space where everyone's encouraged to just let go of everything and have a fucking good time, because that's what I try to do at every show. And if even 2 people in the room have that at one of my shows, then the job's done. But it's all about getting sweaty, dancing, singing along, and having a good time. Favorite moments on this tour so far have been playing in Melbourne was beautiful. I mean, Melbourne in general always shows up and shows out for live music. And to hear people singing the words to the new song, Only Fashion, at the top of their lungs and going mad for it was pretty crazy and surreal. That was a beautiful moment. I can't wait for Sydney and Brisbane this weekend, but we'll see what they've got in store too. But I think just seeing people have such a good time, as it's such a bizarre period in the world right now after, the pandemic's still a thing, obviously, but we're in this weird grey zone where people are still a little afraid to fully go out and let go. But the doors are definitely opening some more. So to see people let go and experience live music in its fullest, that alone is a beautiful thing. I'm lucky to be able to witness that from my perspective whilst on stage. And I find a lot of beauty in that. Like in Canberra, there was a beautiful, beautiful girl who was crying for a lot of the performance, but especially for Song Goes On as I performed that song. It really struck a chord with her. She must attach that song to a memory or something, and it really puts things in perspective. That's like a song that was just written in a bedroom, but then it had this profound emotion that it brought up in this person, and that was just crazy to witness. I got goosebumps even thinking about it now. It was wild. So shout out to that girl. I sees ya. I love ya. And moments like that just make you go, wow, what the fuck? I can't believe this is actually what I do for work. It's like moments like that make everything go away, and it's like, wow, this is bigger than me, bigger than us, bigger than anything. It's a moment, and to be able to create moments, I think is like, that's the fucking dream, right? So I'm just happy to be here and happy to be able to share my tunes, and to see people getting around the new ones is a blessing. So it's all been love. Lou Reed, or Velvet Underground, better yet. Wu-Tang, Alex Cameron, and Missy Elliott. It wouldn't be a collaboration. I like to sit down and just watch Leonard Cohen write, in a way, as weird and as arty as that sounds, but I just like that dude is such a poet. Rest in peace to Lenny, because I don't know, he has a way with words that I feel no one else ever did or does. So I'd just like to witness the way his brain works in any way, shape or form. When I was a kid, Savage Garden, for sure, they blew the fucking game up. Got to hang out with Darren Hayes recently, and he's a diamond, so that was pretty crazy. But that had the biggest impact on me to probably be Return to the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan. That fucking shook my world upside down forever. I'll never forget. I was drunk at school as a youth, which I do not recommend to anyone listening at home. Do not do that. And my friend jammed some earphones in my ear, and it scared the shit out of me because it was Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, on full blast. But it was the most pivotal moment in my life. I remember just going, what is this sound? What is happening right now? And it matched the energy that I was in that moment. And ever since that day, I've never been the same, because it just twisted everything I thought the music should be in the best way possible. So shout out to the RZA, the Jizza, Method Man, Inspector Deck, You God, Raekwon the Chef, and Ghostface Killer for being the legends that they are. Lost in translation, I feel like I could, I mean, actually, nah, Sofia Coppola did a great job of that. Not that, I'm not sure if she did the music, don't fact check me on that. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I would say Keli Holiday soundtrack to Up, the beautiful animated film. I reckon I could make some real heart-wrenching shit for that, and then also some beautifully euphoric moments as well. Hannah Montana, all the way. Hannah Montana forever. First concert I went to was Alice Cooper at the Enmore Theatre here in Sydney. Best concert I've been to is The Hives at Falls Festival in 2013, I think it was, or something like that. Fucking, yeah, incredible. I'd rather be a Spice Girl, for sure. 100%. I'd like the Spice Girls. When I was a kid, I remember being like, my God, they are so hot and so cool and just so dope. I was far more enamored by them than the Backstreet Boys. Salacious Spice. I don't even know what salacious means, but I feel like that. I don't know, I'm feeling salacious right now, I'll tell you that much. Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. It's pretty corny, but it always does the job. Probably the first show I did as Keli Holiday. It was at the Lansdowne, and it was the last show before they closed down because of COVID again. And it was the first show I did, and it was terrifying, but it was a 1 hour long set of unreleased music at that point. And the response by the crowd gave me the fire to go, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this shit. So shout out to everyone that was there then. That was a moment. Damn. It's fun to think about that. The artist that has had the most influence on the music industry. That's a good one. I think there's a lot of artists that have had a lot of influence on the music industry. I think in recent times, we can all point the finger at Kanye West for, changing the way people think. I mean, he's been doing that though. He's changed the way we dress, the way we think, whether we know it or whether we like it or not. I think that dude is like the most influential person as of late. Sure, he's said some crazy shit and done some questionable things, but haven't we all? I think Kanye, I'd say Kanye West has definitely changed the way the industry works and thinks, and people in general. Keep going, man. It's all good. If you can make it through the night, there's a brighter day. I never knew that I wanted to, that's no lie, I never knew I wanted to be a musician. I still don't call myself a musician. On the incoming passenger card, every time I fly in here, I don't know what to write when it says my occupation. I don't feel like I'm a musician. I don't feel like a producer, a songwriter, a singer, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know, there hasn't been that moment. I definitely know that I'm doing what I should be doing, but there was never a light bulb moment. I think music's always been in me. Even right now, there's a drum beat playing in my head. And I don't know. I've always just the effect that music has on me has been something that I can't ignore. So I think it only felt right to kind of move towards that space. It was calling me, and I'm so fucking thankful that it did, because I've got something that I love that I get to do every day.